those behaviors you do that you don't like, and then you get mad at yourself and you turn on yourself? Today, we're going to talk about those and how to work with yourself versus against yourself to get through them. These are the behaviors like shutting down, people pleasing, overreacting, freaking out without thinking or before thinking, anger, jealousy, anxiety, pulling away, pushing people away, thinking the worst case scenario, taking things the wrong way, overthinking, over apologizing. All of these behaviors are ones that we get really frustrated with ourselves over. And they're the ones that we create this internal struggle and hate, and we turn on ourselves and we get the, why am I like this? Why do I keep doing this? I hate when I do this. Why can't I just do it right? Why can't I just do what I want to do? And what does that do for us? How does that help? It doesn't. It turns against ourselves. We're turning against ourselves. We're pulling ourselves away from the friend within, who we really are. We're abandoning ourselves because we don't like something we do. So if we don't like that we're doing it, why do we do it? Well, there's a number of reasons, and they're all completely normal. Everybody has these. Why we do the things we do. Wanting to be liked, loved, wanting to be seen, heard, past experiences, fear, insecurity, uncertainty, pressure, habits, and our brain and our body, our nervous system trying to protect us. All of these things show up in different ways, in different behaviors, in different thoughts. And it's all completely normal. It makes sense. If you think, if my nervous system is trying to protect me, it may show up as me shutting down. If I have a fear of looking stupid, I may not get up and play a game. I may not put myself in a situation where I'm the center of attention because I have this fear. And actually, both of those things happened this past weekend. I let fear control me and override, where I got a fear of feeling stupid. I got a fear of judgment. And so I didn't play a game. I didn't want the center of attention. And then another time I shut down, and it was out of insecurity and fear of how the other person would react and hurting someone. And that's all normal. But we have to understand what's behind it, like why we do the behaviors. And that's where we trace them back. So for the example, my fear, or me not getting up and playing the game, was I had a fear of judgment, which then when I thought about this, it started with, okay, I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to look stupid. But then I have to dig deeper and say that's insecurity. And then even deeper, that's my own self-image, my own self-esteem, self-worth. And that's my body's way of protecting me. And so those are all normal. And that's something to understand, that why we behave the way we do is normal. If we don't catch ourselves and if we're not intentional, we'll fall into habits, which is these behaviors that come from these deeper reasons. And when we can catch ourselves, so if I would have caught myself in the game scenario of letting fear take over, I would have talked to myself and said, okay, this is something you want to do. You want to play it. It's fun. It looks fun. Everybody's having fun. I want to play. And I'm working on overcoming the fear. I get it. It's because my nervous system is trying to protect me from looking stupid, being judged. But I would have talked to myself and been like, yeah, but that's something you're working on. Your nervous system doesn't have to protect you right now. These people aren't going to completely push you out. They're not going to judge you like that. And then I would have leaned into it. It's about being a friend to yourself. It's being that encouraging and supportive friend and saying, hey, this is something you're working on. Nobody's going to judge you. And even if they do, it's something you want to do. It's going to be fun. You want to lean into that fear. This is something you want to do. And if I would have been able to do that, if I would have caught myself, I would have got up and played. But I didn't. And so it really is catching yourself and being intentional, because otherwise we just default to habits. And that's where it's going against yourself, is when we turn on ourselves and get mad at ourselves because we close every opportunity to change off. If we're, oh, I hate when I do that. Why do I always do that? I'm so whatever. There's no kindness there. There's no open door to change, to figure out how to do it differently. And oftentimes, what do we do really? We hate on ourselves, and then we want to push it down. We want to hide it so nobody sees it. But again, that just closes it off. If we can acknowledge it, so in the example I just gave, if I would have acknowledged it, okay, you're afraid of judgment. You're afraid of looking stupid. Okay, where does that come from? That's this fear. My body's trying to protect me. And so if I can recognize that, acknowledge that, talk to myself and be like, okay, I don't have to worry about that anymore. My nervous system doesn't have to protect me right now. I'm not in a life or death situation. I'm not unsafe here. I'm not in danger. A tiger's not coming to get me. I just want to play this game. And with that, talking to myself, being kind to myself, being that friend, supportive, encouraging friend to myself, I would have got my butt up there and played. I still would have had a little nerves, but I would have worked through that because I worked through with myself. And that's the difference. Turning on yourself, you're turning against yourself, or working with yourself, you're working with yourself, you're working through it. And you can actually make the change. You can make a different choice. You can do what you want to do. Lean into it, even though you're a little nervous. You can still do it. And that really is about being kind to yourself and being the friend to yourself that another friend would do. If they knew what you're going through, they would be encouraging. They'd be supportive. Get up there. It's fine. We're all making a fool of ourselves, or we're all, everybody has these things. We don't always notice it though. When we judge someone else for a behavior they're doing, we don't know that might be their thing that they don't like that they do. So when we can acknowledge what's going on, we catch ourselves, we acknowledge it, we can cut that control, the power of it off. And then we'll talk to ourselves and understand where it's coming from, the depth of it. And then accepting it is about accepting where you are right now, even when you want to do different. So when we hate on ourselves, we hate where we are, we hate who we are, we just shut everything down. But if we can accept it, it's okay to accept where you are right now and still want to do differently or be differently, work on things, work through things. But when we don't even allow acknowledgement or acceptance or understanding, we don't even have room to work through it. We're not giving ourselves that door to walk through to change, because we shove it down and we kind of hide it. We close the door on it, literally. But when we can say, okay, this is where I am, I want to do differently, we can work through that. Okay, how can I do differently next time? What's something I can change? Okay, I can catch myself. I can acknowledge it. I can be a friend to myself and talk myself through it, be encouraging, be supportive, and then I can make a different choice. Now, when you do that, and that's literally what I do, when I reflect on these things, I'll sit and say, okay, how can I do differently next time? And so then next time I'll try, and maybe I do a little better, maybe I completely fail, but it's just okay, that didn't work. Now what else can I do? And you just do it over and over. And that's growth. That's the messy middle. I actually talk about the messy middle in another episode, but that's what it is. It's the messy middle of change. You're never going to do like, okay, I want to change it, and then the next time it's perfect. Forget it. And that's okay. That's normal. That is what change is. Change can be slow. And that's totally normal. That's okay. That's what everybody goes through it. You have to work through it, and you have to try it, and then, okay, that sort of worked, but not completely. Let me try something else, or what else can I do? But we have to accept where we're at. We have to acknowledge it. We have to catch ourselves and be a friend to ourselves to work through it. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this. Try this. Next time you get into one of these moments and you catch yourself that you're starting to turn on yourself, starting to hate on the behavior or hate on yourself, catch it, recognize it, pause, take a deep breath, and then try to understand it. Be that friend to yourself. Recognize what's going on, recognize where it comes from, and then decide, make a different choice. Be supportive to yourself and decide how you want to go forward. And if you are recognizing it after the fact, recognize what happened, and then decide, okay, next time I get in this situation, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to do different by doing this. And that gives your brain a little preset. It kind of sets you up for the next time. Okay, next time this happens, that's going to be the trigger. I'm going to catch myself, and I'm going to work with myself, and I'm going to make a different decision. So it would be like, okay, I'm fearful, but this is something you want to do. You want to lean into the fear. You don't have to protect, my nervous system doesn't have to protect me in this situation. I'm safe. What decision do I want to make? I want to get up there and play this game. Okay, do it, and do it. All right. Try this. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll chat next week.